Okay, so today's tutorial is going to be quite interesting. It's going to be a quite interesting tutorial. So first of all, I'm going to make this full screen. Well, let me just take this to Photoshop and open it up. So this is day 5, and I'm not going to be doing any animating in this video, but it's going to be sort of conclusive. I just hope you have the patience to watch through the whole thing. But first of all, we're going to start by the first thing on this list here that says good animation can make bad design look good. Okay, good animation can make bad design look good, but good design will look bad without the right animations. Okay, you can have a very scattered up design, very nasty looking design, and you would animate it and it would look good because it is moving. But if you have good design that is being animated in a boring way, it would look bad. That design automatically becomes a bad design. Okay, so now moving forward, let's drop the word animations, right? What we are building is visual concepts. What we are creating, what we are trying to do in this whole thing is visual concepts. Okay, and what you guys have been learning is motion design for editors. But so far, we've not really edited any actual video where we are adding in motion design. So basically, we've not even touched on editing. We're only talking about motion design. But then you might wonder, I would like to say editing is easy. Adding motion design to editing is where the problem is. Now, moving down here, aspects of a video that motion design shines. I made 3 important lists here, 3 important aspects here. Number 1 is accent sentences. Number 2 is list. And number 3 is sentences that need supportive graphics. So I'll go to a video right now and I would play this video reference from Lara Costa. And for every point where the video uses accent sentences or list, I will pause and call your attention to that. Okay, let's check it out.
That client review was brutal.
We're gonna be underwater for weeks. I flew 1,076 miles to blow up my friend's LinkedIn profile, and
okay, this right here is an example of a sentence that needs supportive graphics to blow up my friend's LinkedIn profile. Supportive graphics in the sense that this sign means a heart. This sign means that clapping stuff on LinkedIn. This one is a love, whatever on LinkedIn. This is a laughing, and this is insightful. And then we have 6,000 followers. So this graphic right here is supporting what she's saying.
I did it in 42 hours with one single post.
With one single post. I like to call that an accent sentence. So at this point in her speech, it's like the word she's saying is coming to an end, or she's saying something that needs emphasis. Does not need to be listed, does not need supportive graphics, but it needs emphasis. So that's where the accent sentence comes in.
With one single post.
You can see with one single post. That's an accent sentence.
Post in a niche that I didn't know. So how did I do it? Well, in this
accent sentence again.
In this video, I'm going to break down the strategy step by step so you can copy all the viral templates and use them in your niche. However, before I tell you how I did it, you might be wondering, why did I fly so far just to write one link?
Accent sentence again.
Post. One reason, urgency.
Supportive graphics. Here.
Over the last
So they are using animation here as B-roll.
LinkedIn post. One reason, urgency. Over the last 2 years, LinkedIn has
Supportive graphics.
become the #1 platform
Accent sentence.
for entrepreneurs, creators, and freelancers to build
Accent sentence. These accent sentence are important words in the video that the creator might want the viewers to pay attention to or to take note of, so that it is registered in their mind that this was said at some point in the video. Entrepreneurs, creators, freelancers, we can also term this as a list, but at the same time it's also an accent sentence.
their personal brands. And in early January of 2020,
Supportive graphics. Supportive graphics. Just to make the whole video more interesting. So we have supportive graphics being animated.
24, LinkedIn hit its first 1 billion
Supportive graphics with an accent sentence.
users. And rightly so. LinkedIn is a goldmine for opportunities, and I know that. But I also know that just like every other platform, this golden era has an expiry date.
Accent sentence right there.
And I want all of my friends to take advantage of it. So I flew all the way from London to Spain to visit
Supportive graphics.
my old friend Jody. She knew that
Okay, so I believe by now you should understand what accent sentence mean and what lists mean and where supportive graphics mean. Now, when it comes to any video, these are most likely the 3 types of motion graphics you would need in a video. Now, let's scrap this whole thing again and let's bring it down to one thing, which is these are B-rolls. Okay? And the creator talking in the video is the A roll. Is the A roll, right? The A roll is this video and this audio that you are going to get from the creator. The A roll is this audio and this video that you are going to get from the creator. The B roll is simply let me just show you what B roll means. B roll. Oh god, hold up. B-roll meaning. Okay, B-roll is a term used in film and video production to describe supplemental footage that's used to complement the main action. So when she's saying something and she's on screen that you need visuals to explain, or you need an accent sentence to call attention to what is being said, let us not think of it like we are animating. Let us think of it as B-rolls. Now, here's one thing. You don't want B-rolls to be overdone, and you do not want them to be underdone. Now, when this clip was sent to the editor, this clip was raw. There were no edits on it. The first question you want to ask yourself is, at which points in this video do I want to add an accent sentence, a list, or a sentence that, or supportive, let me just call it this, supportive graphics or supportive graphics, right? So as you listen to the video, you pause it and you ask yourself, what would fit this scenario? Would it be an accent sentence? Now, with accent sentences, you can add them on top of the footage. Oh God, I can't. You can add them on top of the footage like this with an accent sentence. With a list, right? You can, let me do this. With a list, you can do a list in multiple ways. Let me come to Photoshop. You can do a list in multiple ways. Let's say this is your canvas. You can add the list like here like this. Sorry, let me increase it. You can add the list. You can add the list somewhere here, here, and here. If it's a 3-point list or a 5-point list, whatever is the case. You can also zoom in. You can also zoom into the footage like this, for instance, or something like this. You can also animate the footage to zoom in, right? And you can add your list like this, 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 right? Whatsoever is the case, however you choose to go about it. But the key is you want to understand when to use a list and when to use supportive graphics. Because I see a lot of videos where I see animations being overdone and being overused where they are not necessarily needed. And I know that these people do it because they don't understand the concept of A rolls and B rolls. Now, why would you want your B rolls to not be overused? You only use it in places where they are very much needed. Why would you do that? The reason is this. Most of the content, the creators you're seeing want their face to be the point of attention in the video, right? So when you overdo the B rolls, you are taking away from the A rolls. And the only way that the audience connects with the creator is by seeing their faces. So when you are overusing the B roll, you're diverting it, you're going way too far. You're doing way too much. Because people are here to watch the creator and not your animations. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Okay? Now, let's talk about the path to creating good visuals. Now, creating good visuals is more like a process. It's more like a process, right? Uh, you're not just going to look at a message or a script or a video and just jump into it. You're not just going to do it that way. You're not just going to jump into it. First of all, before you start creating any visuals for a video, the first thing is you have to understand the message, the overall message of that video. Why is this the case? This is the case because the essence of a video is to take a viewer from point A to point B. So that means if you want to take them from a point of not understanding what is being said in the video to a point where they understand everything that the creator was trying to explain in the video. So once again, the essence of the video is not flashy animations everywhere. The essence of the video is to take the viewer or the audience from point A to point B where they understand what is happening or the concept the creator is trying to talk about. Okay? So now we have the message, the overall message. In this case, what is the overall message of this video? Is the title, How the New Rich Are Blowing Up on LinkedIn Right Now. Okay? This would determine the kind of accent sentences we are picking up, the lists we are picking up, and the supportive graphics we are using. Okay? Now we have the message down. We understand the message. The second part we are going down to is a concept that explains the message. Okay? A concept that explains the message. Now I'm going to play this video and I'm going to pick a particular sentence and try to build a concept that explains that message as a B-roll to support what the creator is saying.
Date, and I want all of my friends to take advantage of it. So I flew all the way from London to Spain to visit my old friend Jodie. She knew that focusing on building her personal brand on social media was necessary. She had all the skills, experience, and visit my old friend Jodie. She knew that focusing on building her personal brand.
Building a personal brand. Focusing on building a personal brand. How do I get the transcript of this video? There's a way to do it. Oh my God. How do I do it? How do I do it? How do I do it? There's a way to go about it. There's a way. Let me check. There's a way. Yeah. Okay, so building her personal brand on social media was necessary. So at this point, building her personal brand, what we can do at this point is in the video, right? We can show visuals of her Instagram. We can show visuals of her Instagram. Okay. We can show visuals of her LinkedIn. We can show visuals of her Twitter. And we can show visuals of her TikTok. Another thing we can do is, okay, now we have an idea of what we want to use for the visuals, right? We have the concept in mind, okay? This is what we want to do. This is the concept for that particular point. So what is going to be the design, right? So here's what we can do, right? We can decide to flash these platforms in the video. How do we do that? Let's say we can go to, let me use my Instagram, for instance. My God, my Instagram is taking time to load up. We can go to her Instagram and pick up this bio session, right? And we can come over here and we can paste it, right? We can paste it like this. And okay, come back here. We know Lara uses this blue background. So what we want to do is we are going to pick that blue color. I'm just showing you how these ideas are built from scratch. You don't necessarily need to come to Photoshop and do all of this. It's more like a mental process, right? So we can okay, we don't even need a background here. What we can do is we can zoom this in. We can zoom this in, right? We can zoom this in like this and then just flash it maybe with a zooming in animation like this, slowly, something like this, slowly. And then we have our Twitter also zoom slowly. And then we have her Instagram, and then we have our LinkedIn profile. So it's just like tap, 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 tap. So it's like tap, zoom, tap, zoom, tap, zoom. You understand? So those three flashes, and then we cut back to Lara talking. Okay? Now that's one concept. That's one concept we can do. Another concept we can use at this point is that we could, let's say, we could crop this somewhere here like this. Hold up. We could crop this somewhere here like this, right? And let's say we mask it, and we're just going to pick this and make it a blue background. Remember, you would most likely be doing this in After Effects, but I'm just using Photoshop. Okay. And we have this sort of background here. And you could zoom this up like this. And what you can do is you can have this show up first, right? Okay, no. You can have this. There's an effect I'm trying to create. Okay, yeah. You can have this show up first, right? Like this, like it pops from the bottom, right? If you have enough time, enough screen time. So now we are talking about the design, right? You can have this pop up from the bottom, right? And you can duplicate it and make the next one slightly bigger, or you can duplicate it like this and make another one pop up. That is now the LinkedIn is the one that is popping up. When that one pops up, you make this one smaller. So it's more like you're creating stacks. Okay, you can also add like a the one on top. You can add a drop shadow so that there's sort of a demarcation. Sort of. Let me just reduce the opacity, something like that. And then you can duplicate it again, and you can also make it pop like this. And then you can also make this one smaller when this one pops up. Okay? And another thing you can also do is, while this is happening, you can design this whole thing to have the words. What was the words from her video? Build her personal brand. You can have the words personal brand, right? You can have the words personal brand. Remember, most creators have their fonts that they use, so you always remember to stick to that. So you can have the word personal brand on here like this. Just, I'm not saying this is a perfect design, but you get the point, right? You get the point. That's the essence of the video. You can have the word personal brand animate on, and then these pops come pop, 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 the three of them, and then you cut back to Lara on screen, right? Now we have the design idea down. Now the look and the feel of the design. Okay? Okay. Let me explain what the look and the feel means. Now this is what we are going to do. I'm going to cut down Lara's video like this. This is what Lara's video looks like. We have a lot of gradients, backgrounds, and all of that. So we want to have animations that imitate, or designs that imitate this background. So what I'm going to do is, now we're talking about the look and the feel of the design. So we have a base design down. How does it look? How does it feel? Right? So let's say I add another layer, and I can decide to pick this blue, make a darker shade of it, and oh my god, I need to reduce my hardness, and like make this darker, and add some shades of white here like this, and I can add overlay to it. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do, right? I'm going to pick all of this, unlock this background. I'm going to pick all of this, and I'm going to put it in I'm going to make it one artboard, because I want to layer. Oh, that's wrong. Artboard from layers 1920 by 1080. Okay. My design is a little messed up, but okay. Let's just drag everything back into place. Where is personal brand? Okay, so we have personal brand here once again. And what I want to do is I'm going to create another artboard, and I'm going to delete everything else and just have
on social media with
oh my god, what did I do? I'm going to just stick with me. Sorry. Sometimes it's like that. Okay. So I have this screen here. I'm trying to ensure that the designs I'm making matches, the type of vibe that Lara has going on, right? So I could also decide to add some, white highlights. Where is that design? Where is that layer? This is a layer that has the shine. I can also decide to add another layer, add some, oh, this is not perfect white. I see. I can also decide to add some more intense white highlights as well, again, and make it something like that. Okay, so now when you look at, I want to take this stuff out. Oh my god, where is that layer? Okay, yeah. Now when you look at these two scenes, right, the branding, oh, let me change the text. Okay, let's use something like SF Pro. And then turns out Lara loves to use or her editor rather loves to use this simple Helvetica looking font. And I can make it something like this. Oh, spacing is too wide. Bring it down. Perfect. Let's take the yeah, perfect. So now we have this design, and you see that when you place these two side by side, it fits the branding that we have of Lara already, right? It fits the branding of her colors, her setup. And how did I achieve that? I simply just use my color picker to pick her colors, you know, different shades of her colors, and try to use it in this design so that anytime I cut to my animated B-rolls, I'm always looking on brand. Now, in the case where the creator has his own colors of choice and all of that, it's always advisable you use the creator's brand colors, or in case where the creator does not have that, you can go with the colors in the video. Okay, so that's one angle. So the next thing is, how will it be animated? Very important question. Extremely important question. How is it going to be animated? Remember, when I was drawing this, I had an idea where I said we could start with this one on full screen like this, and then when this one appears, this one pushes up, animates up, and scales down, right? And then when this one appears, this one pushes up and scales down. This one further pushes up again and scales down. So we have like a stacking effect, right? So that's how we have this mindset of this is how this is going to be animated. So when the word personal brand comes on screen, we say, when Lara says personal brand, so personal brand is going to animate on like text animation, just like what she has going on here, where the golden era text, see the way it's animating on like this using text animators, is going to animate on like from bottom to this point, from like somewhere here to here. And then we are going to have this one animate on first. Then the personal brand is going to animate underneath these screenshots I have here. Okay, so now we have how this is going to animate. Then for the backgrounds, we are going to have these gradients and these shines and these effects animating. So basically, say this is going to be moving, something like this. Just very subtle, but just to give life to that background so it's not static. Do you understand? So this is how you craft concepts. This is how you craft concepts for videos. This is how you craft concepts. This is how you come from just a simple message to a concept, to the design, to the look and feel of the design, and then how it is going to be animated. Okay? Now, one might ask, Yes, I've seen the message. I have a concept in mind, but how do I get inspirations for the design? Okay, how do you get inspiration for the design? You have a concept, so I like to assume you know what you want to do. You have a concept in mind, so that means you know what you want to do. Okay, now what we can do is we can use one of the best platforms to check for inspiration to sort of create a mood board. And this is one of the ways I love to do it when I'm working on a project that I know that I don't have any visual direction for this project on my own. What I do is I come to Pinterest, okay, and I start searching. I start searching. I just start searching. So let's say I'm looking for something with um, gradient backgrounds. So I can just say gradient. Oh no. I can just say gradient background designs. And I'm starting to see something. I'm starting to see a certain vibe. I'm starting to see a certain vibe. So I like this design, right? I like this vibe. I like this design. So what I can do is I can say, I can click this and create a board and call it YouTube video edit. Okay. And I can put it to be secret and create it. So now this pin is saved into this my board that I have. So I can click, if I click on this pin now, I should be able to see other gradient background kind of designs that I'm looking for. Now, oh, I think I like this. I like this vibe. Yeah, I like this vibe. So I can click here and call it and save it into that folder. I also like this. I like this. I love this. I can also save it. So now this would guide me on how to create these backgrounds based on what I want to do. Now you don't necessarily need to go this hard on an edit, except would I say it's clearly specified by the creator that like they want stuff of this quality, like animated backgrounds, everything should be like high end. And I mean, obviously they are going to pay for it. So I mean, it's not just going to be all talk and no action. They're obviously going to pay for it. So if that is what they want, then you build an inspo. But most of the time, when you've worked over time, you don't necessarily need to go through this process. Now, if the vibe is also like a retro vibe, you can also go to retro and search for retro designs. And you can start seeing the vibe, like this IKEA, this vibe, yeah, this is a gradient vibe, but it sort of has that retro. Yeah, this is more like retro vibes, very retro vibes as well. So you try to look at these things and then you try to build a design around the ideas that you are getting from looking at these boards. Okay, and design is not just well, designs for edits are actually simple, maybe because it's me, but I feel like designs for edits are actually simple compared to when you are doing designs for fully animated videos. I feel like they are much more simpler. Now, if you see something like a retro design and you're like, how do I animate something that is retro? You can easily come to YouTube and say retro animations in After Effects, right? I'm just giving you a process here, and you can see, oh, the kind of stuff that people did for retro animations. Like you see something like this, This is a 4-minute tutorial that kind of looks like this, like this, like this. So you could watch this video and get ideas and then use it to do your own animations. Do you understand? I might not necessarily need to watch this. I might just watch the animation and I can figure it out. But you, over time, when you do this over time, it builds your creative muscle, it builds your creative arsenal, and it just becomes second knowledge to you how to do stuff like this. So let's get on to the next part, which okay. So developing a look, create a mood board. I've already showed finding inspiration. So like where are all my pins? How do I find my boards on Pinterest? Am I tweaking? Okay, so these are my boards. You can see this is my YouTube video edit board. I can just click here and my style inspo is here. Another thing you can do is you can use Photoshop, just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste into small corners and just zoom in and look at them and you'll be good, right? You'll be good. So that's one of the ways. Now, the second part is implementing your style. Like I said over here, implementing your style, that is designing a still in your mind, just design a still pose of, okay, this is what you want to animate, right? This is what you want this particular scene, this particular 3 seconds to look like. And then animating based on your style. This is where you animate stuff in the way that that style would animate it. Now, this only really happens when you are animating something that is supposed to be something like hand drawn, paper effects, you know, those kind of effects where, like the retro effects, right? They look very distinct. So if you're able to figure out the style that you're making, right, you can easily search that style on YouTube and see how that style is animated. Or better still, if your creative arsenal is strong enough, you can watch how other animators have animated in that style and try to imitate it. Okay, so basically, that would be all. I don't know if there is anything I'm missing, but really, that's just it. That's just everything. If you do not understand this tutorial, just go back again, watch from the beginning. I have this right here. You can screenshot it or something and take your time, you know, to look through this. You can take your time. Remember what I said in the beginning? I said good design will look bad without the right animations. You can have this design nicely laid out for that line of sentence, but if you animate it badly and your keyframes are not easing properly, then you're going to have a problem. You are going to have a problem. You're just going to have a problem. There is no two ways about it. So it is very important that you understand how to use good animations, because the concept of animations is multiple pictures moving at the same time. It's multiple images. Animation is not really, it's not a video. It's like motion happening, but most importantly, it's motion happening frame by frame. So one frame, this screenshot is here. The next frame it is here. The next frame it is here. So you can animate something that looks bad in terms of design to look good. But if you have a good design and you don't have the right animations on it, it will always look bad. Always look bad. Okay? Always remember that what you're doing is you're building visual concepts that take the viewer of the video from point A to B, taking them on a journey of not understanding something to understanding what that thing is about. So every graphic, every scene that you intend to use motion design or accent sentences or supportive graphics or list has to be concepts that are important to the viewer that is watching the video. That means you want them to understand that it's not every list in a video that is mentioned by the creator that you need to list out. Keep this list for the most important parts of the video. Okay, so that is it for day 5. I'll be releasing subsequent videos on. I'll release another video on Premiere Pro. Just be one video to get you started on Premiere Pro and how to use Premiere Pro for editing. That's using Premiere Pro and After Effects as a whole workflow together. So you use Premiere Pro for cutting the videos and After Effects for creating the animations you are using in the video. So yeah, that's for this tutorial, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.